Hey everybody. Oh, okay. Well, my webcam's not working. Good. God damn it. Good start. We'll get that sorted later, guys. I'm running a little bit late today. Just having a bit of a rough time adjusting to the new schedule, plus waking up at this hour. So, Zombie Up is going to be solo cast in the first game of the day, but I should be good to go right afterwards. I really need some food in me. I need some energy. I got none of that going for me right now. But how are you? How are you doing today? How are you doing this evening?
I'm okay.
That's good to hear.
Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Why did stream labels change on Twitch alerts? Please.
Yeah, I've made Twitch alerts now too.
I don't need this right now. Windows, I guess. Stream label setup. Oh, this is so annoying, guys. I did not need that this morning.
I don't think this actually looks that much better.
Do you know if the patch went through on Crew?
I don't think so. Nothing updated.
Okay, well, for those who don't know, I guess moving towards, oh my god, it wants me to log in again. Kill me. We're moving towards the patch, which we'll be hitting later today. So Reaper's grenades are going to have twice the cooldown. Hydras are going to have a little more health, and Widow Mines are going to do a little bit less to shields. So I don't know if that's, maybe it's not live then, and that's fine, but just on the off chance that it is, just be aware that that's what we might see some of today. Choose output directory. God damn it, stream labels. Why are you doing this to me?
Published on 3/6 PST in this PST.
Yeah, where'd that accent come from, girl? You down in Alabama with that?
God, I hope not. In the C region, and then on 3/7 PST in the Americas region.
Yeah, and it is technically 3/7 PST in the Americas region.
Yeah, but I was looking more towards the 3/6 in the C region.
Yeah. Oh, well, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Can you give me a bracket link? I don't have one. Just put in Twitch chat. I'll update from there.
I mean, I didn't have one either. There we go.
Oh, nice. Edit command brackets. Edit command bracket. Yeah, I didn't realize how easy it is to fall off the sleep schedule bandwagon. I guess it's been a long time since I've had to quite adjust to such a sharp direction of waking up, but it's a good thing we are, because this month we're gonna be casting like a whole week of BTSL next week. So it's just like 3 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 a.m., and a little bit more 3 a.m.
Yeah, fun times.
Alright, I don't know if Twitch Alerts is actually going to be working since it's new and different. We'll fiddle with it later if that's the case. In the meantime, I guess brackets are live, question mark?
Are they?
If they are, we should be like talking to super innovation. Although Bunny and Sue might be pretty good too.
Yeah, I guess they're live.
You take your pick since you cast the first one. I'm gonna just start eating now before I fix my camera so I can be done sooner than later.
Okay then. There's a lot of good players. Anyone else for Gumiho Patience? No. No, that's okay. Well. Okay, they're both here. Alright. So we're gonna cast Sue versus Bunny. We're both here. And, they both even accepted the invite, so that's great. I don't really mind waking up at like 6 a.m., but my cat woke me up with purring and loving and licking my face. And it was super cute, but it was also super early. And now he's all hyped up, and I had to kick him out of my room because he ran around the room, and I couldn't chase him. And he thought it was really fun. It was kind of cute, TBH, but kind of annoying as well. Oh, God. She still had time to make her bed? Me? Sure, that looks made. I think the fact that my chair blocks out a good 80% of the bed makes it maybe look... maybe looks okay. I don't know if Twitch Alerts is actually working for me in terms of the alert box widget. Because I thought I had it up 5 minutes ago. But I don't know. 6 minutes ago, Gina Tonic resub for 29 months, and I didn't hear shit. But thank you. Still waiting on them to actually say go. Whoopsie. No one saw that. Oh, and Take V's coming in, so whatever. Okay, Stu's ready to go. I haven't heard a thing from Bunny, but he definitely accepted the invite, and it's definitely the real Bunny. I mean, the other games that are going on, apparently, so Take TV's in this one, and then I guess the French cast, or the Korean cast, I don't know which one, is doing Gumiho and Patience. I'm kind of surprised that would do Super Innovation, but maybe everyone assumed Innovation would win 2-0. Oh, there we go. I guess Bunny had all tabbed or something. Alright. And get a Castellana for the $5. Twitch alert test. Have a coffee, Riffy. You sound half dead. Well, I imagine they work for Rifkin, which means they work for the stream. So. It's all good. Thank you for that donation.
That was very loud and worked perfectly.
Good news. Then you get a run amok for the 3-on-3 sub. Let's get into this game. It is the first game in a best of 3 on Belshir. In the bottom right is the blue Terran. He is Bunny. In the top left, as the red Zerg, it is soO. And he's being very aggressive with that 12 pull, so... soO has been on the aggressive hype train, I guess, as of late versus, like, every single race. I don't think we see him in many ZvZs, so I can't actually confirm or deny that one. But definitely versus Protoss and versus Terran, I've seen a lot of early pulls or aggressive Roach Warrens, you know, that type of stuff. And, well, he certainly has been using a very annoying build against Terran lately that includes Roaches, so kind of... thinking this is it with the double gases being taken, unless they're going to be double extractor tricks, but very, very late. Okay, there we go. So, I mean, even if he didn't get the Roach follow-up, this would definitely ensure that your Lings, hopefully it would ensure that your Lings actually get the cancel on the command center, but...
Game paused.
Yeah, there's that Roach Warren. Usually expected on shorter maps, I suppose. Definitely like Paladido Terminal, but I guess Belshir isn't too big.
Game resumed.
Let's talk about the Roach Warren. Right. So, unless you scout with an SCV, which most turns don't because you wait for the Reaper, it can actually be really annoying to hold on to, but if the Reaper has to be pulled back because of the Lings, and that wastes time, and they don't get the Roach Warren, God forbid Reaper actually dies, this could set you up in a very, very, very bad position, as you're definitely going to be putting it on your command center before you scout anything, if you wait for the Reaper. Now, this SCV, if they got it the other way, might have been able to see the Lings, but that still doesn't tell you enough just to keep your Reaper at home, but that's still bad news because the Reaper wouldn't be scouting the Roach Warren. But hopefully this SCV actually get into that main base and see Well, first of all, the lack of a hatchery, which should still be suspicious, even if you go for a pool first. And, yeah, there's going to see the roaches now. So, I do like that Bunny. Just, I think he's kind of maybe even hyper aware that he's playing against soO, who does this build, and doesn't put down the command center at all, actually. That was like a pretty split-second timing on the SCV scout, and when you would put down your command center. So that's actually a very nice SCV scout. This Reaper wants to look for where the roaches are coming in, I suppose, but actually misses it once again on the wrong Xel'Naga. Bunker on the low ground can buy time and help the Marines kill the Overlord, and the Overlord is a pretty important part of the process. Ravage needs that high ground vision. Lings are cleaned up, not that they're too helpful anyways. And a tank is on the way. Tank or Cyclone, actually. It's kind of up to the Terran what they want to do. A tank usually, like, just ends the aggression, I would say, but it does have to wait for a tech lab. And there's a possibility you misplace it and it gets corrosive bile, but yeah, it does look like he's gonna be waiting for that tank. Didn't bother with an add-on on the barracks either, so just like as much consistent production as possible. And that bunker is gonna hold long enough to get the tank, and that's the most important thing. They have a 5th Ravager on the way. It's made in the middle of the map. And I mean, eventually the SCVs are gonna start going down here, but soO went really all in with this build. If it doesn't work, he's kind of screwed. Like, I mean, even if it kills 7 SCVs, soO's still at 13 drones, so it'd have to kill at least like, what? Probably 17. No, maybe even 20. It might actually have to bring Bunny down below 8 workers to actually work, because of course Bunny's gonna have a mule, and soO does not, so. This is a very scary tank positioning. This is the type of tank positioning that those Ravagers are gonna try and persevile down, and 5 perseviles definitely take care of that tank, and that was certainly a mistake by Bunny. Once the tank is out, you put it on the high ground, you build a command center, you salvage the bunker if you can, probably not, but still save the Marines. And you're good to go, at least for your main base, but losing a tank like that was, I think, unnecessary, but not game-breaking. Honestly, even if an unsieged tank is around, that's still some pretty good DPS. So this one was very shortly coming after the last one. Just a lot of SPs being pulled now. I mean, really doesn't want to lose that bunker. This is better, as it does have the high ground, and this Overlord has been chased off, so this is actually perfect positioning that he should have done in the first place. Oh well. We even had an Jeremy block. Wow. Okay. Okay, the bunker finally goes down, but it bought time for 2, technically 3 tanks, so I think it's okay. And soO is still dedicating, of course, to the aggression, finally getting a queen, I suppose, but... a couple Ravagers being shot down, AI'd into the Marines, and AI'd into the tanks. And this does not look good for soO. Bunny is a pretty good player, you know? Like, I don't think soO underestimated the guy. I think soO just does these aggressive builds, but... Bunny, I would say even at one point was very good defensively. Like, I think he was one of the players doing mech a while ago. Of course, he joined Dust, and you weren't sure what to expect from him. But I think the last time we saw him and his teammate Hush actually are doing okay. Not, semifinals, grand finals type deal, but okay enough. Sometimes even good. 3 tanks is not going to be breakable. This is like, this is game. Dealt with. A Viking now pops out. This Overlord's gonna try and fail to move in, keep them that high ground vision, and it's just the last stand here. Work out for Bunny real well now.
All right, so I managed to break the stream several different times during the course of that game. Thank you, Zombie Grub, for being amazing and casting through it, though. And
Amazing.
hey, everybody, I'm here now. Camera's working. Had a bit of food. Hopefully, should be good to go for the cast. But yeah.
Okay.
Today is probably the roughest start of any cast we've done to date, and I apologize for it, guys. Hopefully, should be good going forward. I guess. I also still have to get the Olimoleague logo back here too. Boop, boop, boop.
More one.
I don't have the logos or whatever. Our sponsors can. One day, guys. Corsair, don't be mad at me. It's just one day. I just can't. I'm not touching the stream anymore. I don't want to break things.
Alright.
What's interesting was during the last throws of that game. I'm not sure if this happened like on stream or if this was just like a computer thing. The screen just went like black for a second, and I was like, why? I was like unplugging and plugging in the webcam, and everything just went black. No reason. When I did new map intros, actually, was just so I could skip them. It's it's kind of how it's turning into for the time being. Anyway, sorry, wrong score. There we go. In the bottom left, tried a very aggressive attack in that first game. Did not pan out so hot for him. It's gonna be the red Zerg player soO.
The bottom right is the blue Terran. He's Bunny.
It looks like Stream Labels is updating, at least to some degree, because I see Cassiana's $5 donation up there, which you so graciously shouted out earlier. So hopefully he'll continue to work for everything else. But anyways, it's funny, soO, I really like this guy right now. For those who don't know, we had a bit of a conflict, a potential conflict, with soO and stats in the Ting Open. And one of those concerns, one of the problems was that because they're still part of GSL, would they be able to keep competing? And soO basically responded immediately with like, yeah, I want to fight all the time, always. I was like, okay, cool, respect. The stats eventually said, yeah, he wants to keep trying too. But that just kind of speaks to me about these guys. A lot of folks will kind of withdraw from things and focus on the bigger events. Like, for example, Stats, big respect to him. He's still playing Ting, but he had to drop out of the BTSL monthly finals because he wanted to focus on GSL. So, again, it's kind of cool. Like, soO, here he is, hotshot, big deal. There's a lot on the line for him in bigger tournaments, and he's still playing things like the Olimoleague, weekly events.
Yeah. He's a hotshot and a... Well, what else do you call people?
A hot potato. No?
And a hot potato. He's Chavlik. He's bouncing between events until he explodes.
Everyone, all over the place. I don't know, man.
Wait, why does the hot potato... Wait, how does hot potato work?
You don't want to hold on to the hot potato, so you throw it to your friend. They also don't want to hold on to the hot potato, so they throw it to their friend.
Well, but someone eventually loses, don't they?
When they drop the hot potato, because then when nobody can eat, because you drop the potato, you dummy.
That's true.
Not you, you're not the dummy, but the
potato?
person who drops it's the dummy.
Well, I don't think I've ever actually played.
Maybe that's the most primitively awful way to cool the potato. You put the boiling water.
Like, putting it on the ground, at the very least. And then back in the day, I don't think they would have really cared.
Oh, human beings. We're so stupid.
Kind of. Anyway, I haven't played a game of hot potato just like I haven't played a game of who stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Because they're both dumb. And for kids. We did not have an opener, as aggressive an opener from soO, which makes a lot of sense. Bunny just, I mean, that SCV scout was so perfectly lined up to scout a roach attack. It had to have been because he knows soO. So, don't do that again. Don't, even on new, I actually started it more on New Herc than I would on Belcher, but nah, just a macro game.
Alright, looks like that black screen, by the way, wasn't just like a little minor black screen. The whole stream hooked up, but...
Yeah.
It's weird. There's no drop frames, so I'm curious on how that works. Like, the stream very clearly went offline. I'm not trying to argue that it didn't, but...
Well, it didn't drop any frames. It just stopped frames. You could just... Stop.
It's awful stop. Cousin, the stopped frames.
Yeah, something like that. Link's actually going around is very sneaky. Now Bunny is doing something that is sometimes not suggested for this very reason alone, just to rally your Hellions forward, as opposed to maybe keeping them bulked up in the back until you have 4 or 6. But his other 2 pop out perfectly in time, so soO is just gonna have to bring those back and do something else with them. And Armory is on the way. I was wondering about that, because you do have a medevac and, of course, more Hellions, but you also had Banshees, so I wondered if it's just a very old-school build, no Hellbat required. It's also Hellbats. Now, soO is going to be trying to push in here with a lot more Lings, and again, if Bunny had just kept his stuff at home, This would be absolutely no problem, but instead he lets the Lings into the main base, trying to save his SCVs. A lot more SCVs have to go down and actually make this work, since soO is still at 33 himself, and he's kind of all winning from here, but the Hellion build should actually still work out in Bunny's favor if you could just go ahead and get more than 1 or 2.
Oh,
He's bringing back the Hellions for the front line, but he actually went through with the drop.
Yeah, I know he's got a lot of damage he's got to make up for. 13 SCVs died to this run by, and it's not over yet. These Lings still tearing down that front door, so there's no gate to keep him out.
I really... I mean, even if he had brought back the medevac, that still might have been 13 SCVs very, very quickly. You know, Lings kind of do that when they get in the mineral line, but this should have worked out really well. A lot better for Bunny, in fact. Like, he's going to be kind of probably slapping his head here going, like, this should have been my build versus, like, a very bad build. But that's why soO went around the map like he did, to be a little sneaky Zerg player. And it's still working.
That's a really good point. Like, the actual act of running around with the Lings, I didn't know if that was going to work out or not. Because, you know, it's Terran. They're going to have walls. Like, how effective could this possibly be? But the answer was really, really...
Oh my god, Bunny's just giving up on trying to defend. But unfortunately, like, here's the really bad thing about choosing to be aggressive as, well, in general, a Terran player, but to be honest, also with Hellion, is like, Hellions, they drop out of the medevac one at a time, a single Ling touches them, and they can't do shit. Like, it's so bad. Even if they're in the Hellbats, obviously only 2 belts in the medevac, and even then, they get surrounded, popping out of the medevac, and it's still not that great. So soO just deals with the attack so easily.
Alright, let me fix something here, guys. The Olimoleague logo, yeah, it's too high. Copy. Paste Reno. Hey, and let's hope that works. Cool. Alright, so that's going to tie things up 1-1. And give us a very nice game 3 to start our day. By the way, thank you so much to Run Amok for the 3-month resub, and then OmniTribe, here you guys, what? Repeat. Thank you both for those resubs. Sorry that we missed it. Again, today's a bit of a rough day, but we'll get through it, and hopefully time will wake me up a little bit better. I thought I resubbed the other one too. Repeat. There you go. OmniTribe, my man. Whoop, whoop. But okay, so while we get into this third game, let me join off of you here. Little bit of self-promo, guys. Zombie Grub and I, part of why I'm not waking up on time, I'm gonna blame Zombie Grub. Even though it's not all her fault. She was like, hey Rifkin, let's do co-op.
We were done by like 5 o'clock your time.
No, hang on, let me explain. Let me finish my story, please. So Zombie Grub messaged me, she's like, hey, let's do co-op. It'll be great. And I was like, yeah. And so we recorded this week's mutation, which was actually fairly difficult, I'll note. And you should absolutely check our YouTube out to see 2 surprise uploaded co-op videos. But it got me really excited. Like, it's dumb. I love co-op and I love playing games with you. So I was just like, oh well, I should definitely be asleep at this time period, but I guess I'm awake and excited still. So as I'm finally settling into bed, Nate messages me and wants to do co-op. So of course, little me like a puppy dog is like, oh, more co-op, yes, ball, where's the ball? Squirrel. And so I ended up going to bed fairly late. So this whole waking up rough thing, this is on me, guys, and I want to apologize for that. But we are in game for map number 3, spawn down here in the bottom right. It's going to be the blue Terran player, Bunny, playing for Dust.
On the top left.
Ooh.
Trying to make this build work, I guess. It is the red Zerg, soO.
Well, this is really interesting because, okay, I want to take us back to the Ting Random 32 group where soO was playing against Jockshi and was going for early pool builds. And we just kept thinking, like, why are you doing this versus Terran? How good could this possibly be? And it turned out to not be very good, and soO fucking lost doing it.
He did do other variations of the early pool, but yeah, I mean, the aggressive soO did not work out against Jockshi. Or, well, didn't he eventually win? Actually,
well,
forget
so
what happened.
he won his group in the finals, but my point is, like, the very first best of 3 of the day was him versus Jockshi, and it was him doing... I remember, because we had this big discussion of, like, why is he doing this? Is he worried about showing his builds for GSL? Is this, like, tailored to Jockshi, et cetera, because I don't remember who the other Terran in his group was, but he wasn't playing the same way versus them.
God, yeah, I don't remember either. But yeah, it was... Yeah, it wasn't the Roach Rush, I don't think, or
This
not always, not twice, anyways, in a best of 3, and he has not done it twice, and it might be because he saw last game Bunny did an SCV scout.
that could be certainly a contributing factor. You watch a lot of pros discuss this on Twitter, and especially you'll see like memes on Reddit. And reality is like the best way to shut this down is to scout it. So the Reaper admittedly will, but so much later than he would like for it to. Command Center in the low ground's also gonna likely have to get canceled.
Oh, if it doesn't, I don't know how whatever happened. The Lings unfortunately are gonna bring the Reaper back, and I explained the scenario in the first game, but then the SCD scout was perfect, so it didn't matter. But in this scenario, yeah, the Reaper has to pull back just like if it was an early pull. So this doesn't look suspicious yet. But he's gonna pull back thinking, oh, he early pulled me, like what a son of a gun. Even though he has a Marine, he still is gonna pull back that Reaper, and the Reaper won't scout the Roach or follow up with the lack of a hatchery.
Yeah.
And you might even you might not even scout them turning the Roaches into Ravagers, which actually they did it way beforehand, so never mind. Yeah, you definitely would scout it. And this is unfortunate. Ravagers could also, they have that range to actually take out a Reaper that's not expecting them, so gonna take out that Reaper, they're gonna try and chase on that Marine.
This is really interesting because it's so weird to see him go for this, especially considering how, like, I mean, I wasn't casting the first game, but I was watching it, and like, this was not a smooth game for soO first time around. So attempting to do this again is certainly risky and certainly frustrating too for somebody like Bunny. Again, kicking himself right now for not scouting. Absolutely. Cyclone coming out is going to help a little bit. I guess you could argue this may or may not be better than a tank, but the point is he didn't have time to build a tech lab either way.
Yeah.
Deepos get bust. This opens the front door. It'll also supply block Bunny in a most frustrating way. And the Cyclone, as we can see, it's got some good damage, but this isn't like hitting Roaches. Ravagers aren't armored units, so it doesn't get the bonus damage.
Mineral walks actually do the Ravagers. Pretty fancy.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, doing this is costing Bunny. He's not mining a lot while this goes on. His SCVs are in danger of dying, of course.
Well, if he holds it all, actually, I think he might just win this game.
Yeah, because you know what? He has to finish the CC.
Yeah, he never canceled the command center. It actually got really far along because the Lings were cleaned up, and Bunny was very good about putting another SCD on it, as opposed to getting kind of slack and, you know, and not, basically, because if that was only 50% done, and he's now trying to build the rest of it, there's still a chance that soO stops her from coming up, but now it's like, Bunny, he would have to lose, again, like, down to at least 7 workers, I think, before he didn't be in danger of losing the game, and even then, 1 mule would still help bring him back. soO is just so totally all in. So it's, despite losing the Reaper, despite not knowing this was coming, it was a very fast reaction. I think it might also help that he had already had a factory built, and didn't try and put a tech lab or reactor automatically on it, or swap it over either. Well, I guess if you swap it over, you still put a Cyclone, right? But anyways, basically, the point is, got as many units as possible, as quick as possible.
I mean, I'm no Zerg player, but I gotta imagine, you know there's a Cyclone, maybe even 2 out. Don't put the Roaches in first. That's asking for trouble. No Overlord nearby for high ground vision's also a problem. Forget even like a consideration of trying to like lift up and go to the high ground, but I guess as a small consolation, soO does push that CC back. But now that tanks are finally on the way, like this combined with the fact there's 2 CCs, a lot of mules, a lot of SCVs, I don't really see soO winning this unless Bunny makes a mistake.
Right, yeah. And if a second siege tank comes out, I don't think he'd be able to win it even if Bunny did make a mistake. So there it starts now, and Bunny just looks still pretty fine against this build. This is probably the second time I guess we watched soO lose with it. You might be thinking it's a really bad build, and no, actually it's in fact had its fair share of frustrating Terran players to the point of like pro gamers asking each other, how do you beat this build? That's how frustrated they were. But now it has been a little more figured out, and a lot of it does have to do with like fast reactions and keeping a stable mind and not just freaking out and trying to continue building, you know, whatever Marines and your regular build. Like, don't do your regular build. You got to change up and you got to actually react to this. And Bunny has.
And that's just a slaughter, frankly. I can't. There's no hyping this up. High score for distance, baby. GG.
Students started making drones, so there's just no comeback without a second hatchery.
Nah, that got way too messy, way too quick. Thank you very much to Di Bertha for the 4-month resub. Happy during that game. And then Tom KD for 5 months. I love Tom. Tom says, wake up, Ace Kate. Wake up. Wake up. Grab a little, put a little makeup. All right, we're gonna figure out our next game here in a moment. Yeah, you like that chop suey? I'm so good at singing. Whatever. We're gonna go to our first commercial break of the day while I fix a couple of things here, and hopefully we continue with a smoother ride down the Olimoleague train. The winner goes on to fight against Deer, and this works out nicely because I was trying to contact Deer and invite him to our monthly finals to replace Stats, because Deer actually did have the next highest amount of points. So we'll talk to him, I guess, a little bit too. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll be back in a few minutes, and see you soon.